The Rampager Within Us All. An essay on inner escalation, societal triggers, and the power of self-regulation. Introduction. Within every human being lies a shadow side that can surface under certain conditions. This side, what we might call the inner rampager, symbolizes those impulsive, aggressive, or destructive thoughts we all know, though we rarely admit them openly. These are moments when pain, disappointment, overwhelm, or fear becomes so intense that our inner balance begins to falter. The desire to mentally eliminate people or situations, to escape or to banish them from consciousness, reveals just how fragile our psychological structure can be. Triggers and inner reactions. What sparks such inner impulses? Often it's personal wounds, a condescending glance, an unfair judgment, the feeling of being unheard or unseen. Overload caused by constant availability, performance pressure, or emotional stress can also stretch self-regulation to its limits. Feelings of injustice, exclusion, and humiliation are particularly powerful. People who feel socially disconnected or powerless often develop deep-seated anger or despair. These emotions are not merely individual, they reflect structural realities. In such moments, a storm builds up inside, of rage, hurt, and exhaustion. At the same time, a leaden helplessness sets in, a sense of losing control that is frightening and fuels the urge to explode or flee. Different ways of coping. People respond in vastly different ways to such inner impulses. Some express their anger outwardly. They seek conflict, show loud emotions or aggressive behavior in an attempt to release the internal pressure. Others suppress their feelings and shut down emotionally, which can lead to inner numbness or psychological illness over time. Still others strive to consciously transform these impulses through conversation, self-reflection, therapy, meditation, or creative activities like writing, music, or movement. These transformation processes show that destructive impulses can carry the potential for growth if we view them as signals, not as threats. The sociological dimension, society as amplifier and regulator. The inner rampager is not only a psychological figure, but also a social echo. Societal structures, norms, and role models significantly shape our internal conflicts. In a world of acceleration, constant optimization, and digital always-on culture, emotional overwhelm grows silently but steadily. Those who can't keep up or don't fit in are often devalued or made invisible. Frustration and aggression don't arise from nowhere. They are rooted in structural experiences. Cultural conditioning and media reinforce the dynamic. In some environments, aggressive attitudes are seen as strength. In others, every hint of anger is suppressed. Sensationalist reporting, focus on perpetrators, and polarizing narratives breed fear and reduce complex realities to headlines. At the same time, root causes like mental strain, poverty, or isolation are often ignored. Group dynamics also play a key role. Toxic ideals of masculinity, power displays, and the tabooing of emotional vulnerability contribute to the fact that many people never learn to express their inner tensions in healthy ways. Self-regulation. The key to inner balance. The ability to self-regulate is one of the most vital skills for dealing with inner tension. It doesn't mean suppressing emotions, but perceiving, accepting, and constructively managing them. Especially with intense emotions like anger, shame, or despair, self-regulation is crucial to avoid slipping into destructive behavior, whether directed outward or inward. Self-regulation isn't innate. It can be learned. It requires practice, reflection, and most importantly, supportive social conditions, because no one regulates themselves in a vacuum. Challenges in self-regulation. Not everyone has the ability to self-regulate from the start. Some struggle every day not to lose themselves. The reasons are diverse: neurological and biological factors, e.g. ADHD, trauma-related disorders, or hormonal imbalances. Early childhood experiences, such as emotional neglect, violence, or chronic insecurity. Social shaping, lack of role models, overwhelmed families, social isolation, poverty, migration experiences. These factors influence how people process emotions, experience conflict, and interpret reactions. But even in difficult biographical contexts, change is possible, with time, therapeutic support, and safe spaces. Strategies and examples. Some proven self-regulation methods include mindfulness and meditation, creating inner space between stimulus and reaction. Breathing techniques, simple yet powerful, especially in panic, overload, or anger. Cognitive restructuring, questioning and reframing negative thoughts. Movement, running, dancing, swimming, anything that helps discharge energy. Creativity, writing, painting, music as a voice for the unspeakable. Social support, friendships, conversations, professional help. Example, someone constantly under pressure at work who reacts irritably can learn to calm themselves through short mindfulness exercises before meetings or intentional breathing. Another person who feels anger toward themselves or others might find balance through physical activity or creative expression instead of reacting impulsively. Paths to healing and growth. The inner rampager is not a monster. It is the voice of a wounded inner part. If we choose to listen rather than condemn it, we can grow. Healing often begins where we are willing to enter into a relationship with our anger and pain, not as enemies, but as neglected messengers. Empathy toward ourselves and others is not a weakness, but a strength. It opens the door to understanding both ourselves and others more deeply. Self-regulation requires practice, but also care, courage, and social safety. Conclusion. The rampager within us is a metaphor for the vulnerable, often hidden sides of our psyche. It reminds us that aggression and destructive impulses are part of being human, not as an inescapable fate, but as a challenge we can live with and grow from. It is essential to not only consider the individual dimension, but also to address the social and societal factors that shape these impulses. Through conscious self-reflection, social responsibility, and collective commitment to a more just and empathetic society, we can learn to tame the inner rampager and channel its energy into positive directions. Strategies such as physical activity, mindful distancing, or naming our emotions help reduce inner pressure and open up space for constructive action. The path to inner balance is not an easy one, but it is possible with every step we take more consciously.